Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes.
Hi,
Yes.
Hello.
and hello to everyone watching on YouTube. We're a student club called K-pop Initiative in Boston, and this is our second webinar of the series Everything K. Everything K is a series of webinars that is designed to increase awareness about the rapidly growing K-pop industry among domestic and international audiences during this remote mode. In Everything K, back to the K culture, which is the name of this event, we're going to have a casual talk about our personal thoughts on K-pop and K-pop artists. So feel free to join the conversation via YouTube comments. Now let's introduce ourselves. Matthew, do you want to start briefly introducing yourself?
Yeah, hello. I'm Matthew. I'm the new president of KPI. This Everything K series is I'm really excited. It's really fun, and I hope that you guys are excited for our future events because we have a lot of cool guests in store for you guys. I think that's all I need to say right now.
And I'll go. My name is Jamin Park. I was the marketing head for 2019 to 2020 academic year for KPI, and now I'm a Berklee graduate. So I graduated last week. So yep, yay. So how about you, Kelly?
Hi guys, I'm Kelly Gravo. I am the new vice president of KPI. Yeah, I'm really excited for this session. Seeing our graduating members and our remaining members, and it's really exciting. Please stay tuned for more content. We have a lot of content planned, and we hope that you guys can just learn during this time and feel connected still in this COVID-19 whole aspect. Yeah, does Claire want to take it away?
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Claire. I'm the new marketing head for 2020-2021 academic year, and I also wish all of you guys to enjoy our session today, and hopefully for our future webinars as well. And now I'll toss it over to Jasmine.
Great. Hi, I'm Jasmine Bright. I'm a senior at Berklee. I am the new head of event production in KPI. I also hope that everyone enjoys the webinar series that we've put together. We have a lot in plan, so I hope you guys stick around to see what we all have in store for you.
I think it's my turn.
Does Ariel want to go?
Yep. So hi everyone. I'm Ariel Lee. I'm the former head of operations at KPI, and I am a Berklee graduate as well too.
Okay.
Hi everyone. I'm also a graduating student at Berklee, and I was the former co-president of KPI. So this is all our members participating in this webinar. Now let's start off with our first question, which is, who is your first K-pop artist and who is your favorite K-pop artist? Does anyone want to go first?
Should we just do the same order that we did? So Matthew,
Sure.
you're first.
That works.
I would say, I was born in LA. I've lived almost my whole life in California. And so I was a Korean American, first generation or second generation. And I would say that as I grew up, the K-pop that I would hear was mainly from what my parents were listening to. or through the dramas they were watching, or the TV shows, because it wouldn't play in like regular radio channels. So at those times, I guess I was really influenced by my parents. So the first artists that actually brought my attention were Big Bang and Epic High. And to this moment, Big Bang is still my favorite K-pop boy band. Um, they always had, I don't know, they always just made me feel really good. The music style, the musicality that they had was always what I was really into as well. And Epic High, um, Tablo is such a wonderful rapper, and because of what happened to him with the scandal with Stanford and stuff, with all the misunderstanding, I came to love him so much as well when he came back with Epic High in these past years with their new albums. And so, like, and speaking of them, I was really excited to see what they can do at Coachella because both of them were invited to Coachella this year. But unfortunately, it wasn't going to happen. But, I would say that Epic High and Big Bang were the two main K-pop related groups that I really grew up with since the beginning when I started listening to K-pop, and they're still one of top of my um, top of the list for my K-pop artists. And yeah, it's really good stuff going on. And, although there's some controversy in Big Bang, I still love them. Yeah.
Nice.
Wait, are we doing our
Um,
favorite or are we doing our first K-pop right now?
we're doing both.
Oh, okay.
It was like kind of both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was my answer.
So I guess I'm next. My first K-pop artist that I remember is actually there are two, Shinhwa and Epic High. Because I said Shinhwa because it's a bit of age gap and like a kind of like a short K-pop lesson would be like Shinhwa is actually one of the oldest continuing boy group in Korea. I think they debuted in 1998, so it's their 22nd year. So I think that has a really big meaning because a lot of boy groups tend to just break off after like 7 years or like 10 years, and maybe BTS could just follow their path and they could be like one of the like long lasting K-pop boy bands. And so I hope that happens with a lot more groups these days. The reason why I chose Shinhwa and my Epica were because back then I used to listen to music from my sister's MP3. It was like 200 megabyte, like or like 512 megabyte, like a small one, just like with a screen like that big. And I was just listening, and she was a big fan of Shinhwa and Epica, so I listened to their music a lot. As of right now, I don't listen to Shinhwa, but I definitely have that good memory of listening to Shinhwa music with like brand new. I think that's one of the music that I remember. I think Hidden definitely knows what I'm talking about, but yeah, a little bit of age gap, but it's still fine. Then my favorite K-pop artist is for like more like a traditional K-pop group, I will choose Red Velvet. I actually really like their music. Um, in addition to their appearance, I really enjoy listening to their music. As an EPD major, I really enjoyed their like not the title music, but the other songs like the Kingdom Come or like other. They have a more non-idol like musics in on the album. So I think I really appreciate that. So I guess she's my favorite um, K-pop group. And if I can choose like non-traditional, I would choose Black Skirt, 검정치마. So yeah, he's my like favorite indie solo artist. And yep, so that's it for me. Kelly?
So I was introduced, I guess, to K-pop pretty late, like 2016. And obviously I'm not Korean, so I was really into like the boy band like scene, and like seeing these guys who made my heart flutter, honestly. So I guess my first group is like, they're pretty, I would say like not like up to the standard of like BTS maybe, but 17. They're kind of diving into like the R&B. They have like a rap group, and then a dance group and a vocals group. So I think for me, seeing this like mix of aesthetics, like the way they dress, and then just like having this like rap and pop, like where they're dancing, and just this combination of like everything that really made like K-pop, I guess, bounce back in like in the past couple of years. Yeah, they're like the first group that I was really introduced to, and honestly, still have a crush on a lot of them because they're really cute. But yeah, their music's great. It reminds me of kind of like there's like a cuteness to it, like I would hear in a K-drama sort of thing, like really romantic moments and things like that. But in terms of like my favorite, I personally like have been listening to more of like the R&B side of K-pop. And I mean, in this whole series, we talk about like past like the pop music, but like there are more subgenres of like this whole Korean wave and movement. So my personal favorites, like right now, like Crush and like Zion T. They're more, you know, like definitely not like K-pop, but they're really making like a hit in the Western market. So for me, they're really up my alley. And yeah, that's my favorites. Claire, what about you?
So I also had a really hard time picking my favorite artist and my first artist, because compared to my similar age Koreans, because I'm from Korea, um, my first impression to K-pop was really late too, because I studied abroad in like other countries when I was young. So when I came back to Korea, it was like around 2008. So that's when like Big Bang was like in control of the whole like the new K-pop wave, and it was really cool to see them like taking over the new generation. And I really like their music, especially Haru Haru and 거짓말, the lie. It was really good. And then I really liked Lisa. They're really famous for their raps. Some people might know them as very old generation rappers, but they're really good in making their songs and everything. So like they are definitely like my first and also fab. And these days I pick my favorite artists as T Sangho. I don't know if you guys have heard of him or not. He's like one of the new rising stars. His songs, like there are two popular songs right now. One's called X and one's called a question mark, which is pretty interesting to have for a title song. And I really like his song because like it's a rap, but it's really smooth. So if you're gloomy, whether you're happy, like it doesn't matter, like it fits to any of your like emotional status. So I really like his voice and all that. And I guess that's it. What about you, Jasmine?
So my first introduction to K-pop was around between middle school and high school, and it was actually Big Bang as well. My friend introduced me to them because she was like a Big Bang fanatic at the time. And so she wanted to show me these like really cool boys. And so I ended up watching it with her. And it was a good video. I think it was I think it was actually Fantastic Baby. That's what's funny. So yeah, they were my first K-pop band that I was introduced to, and I didn't actually get into it in a few years after that when I got into BTS. BTS are now my favorite group, just because of their visuals. I like their music, and also their storytelling is really good for me. Like I like stories a lot. Like I also like write a lot and I dance a lot. So like for me, like they work for me. But also I also enjoy Day Six and The Rose because I'm also like I like bands a lot. So I like that band sound. So like those three are my top three, I think, right now. Yeah. Let's participating next?
My first, I grew up listening to actually Pinkle.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if you guys know. I mean, it's not my generation. Okay. To be clear, it's not my generation. But like whenever I go travel, I go family trip. My mom and dad always play like a Pinkle, like 약속해줘, and then like what else? Any like those kind of generation. So I'm used to the like cheesy part of K-pop and the very like starting point of the K-pop wave. And but like my first idol group was TVXQ, 동방신기. And then I really liked the song they debuted, which is Hug. It's very, very cheesy lyrics, but I think it was like a trend at the time. But like nowadays, I don't quite listen to typical idol, K-pop idol group. I'm old, but I now the group that I'm most interested in right now is Hyago. They're Korean based indie rock band. And the vocalist, the leader of the band is actually raised in China. I don't really know the city, but he grew up in China. So his music has like a Chinese, Korean, and also a bit of like American rock style into it. So I think if you guys are interested in listening to this band, maybe I might like you to listen to their 2018 album, How to Find True Love and Happiness, and then Citizen Kane. Yep.
Wow, recommendations. Okay.
Thank you for introducing like your favorite songs to Ariel.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting to see like how you guys first K-pop artists were different because of like your age differences and when everyone
Age
got into
differences.
K-pop.
Well, but I feel like Pinkle's like another level. It's like they are the pioneers.
I explained it's not my generation, but I grew up listening to it, you know, like when I was like 5 or something.
Yeah, and like there was a member who grew up with K-pop just like Ariel, or there was a member who recently got into K-pop, so that was also interesting. Now let's go on to our second section, which is we're gonna have a debate.
Should I tie my hair up for
Our
this?
members formed 3 teams each.
Oh, slide. Sorry. Like, is it just me or is it getting like disconnected a little bit? It might be my computer, but. Okay.
Oh no, I felt that too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think my internet connection is.
Oh,
Let's see.
can you guys see it?
Yeah.
You can see it.
Okay. So just tell me what to go.
Okay. Our members are representing, and we formed 3 teams representing an artist each, and they're gonna have a debate about who really started the K-pop wave. We're gonna have 4 rounds, and then each team are gonna say why their artist is the one who led the K-pop wave. We're gonna have a timer for each round, and then if the timer goes off, you have to stop talking. The first team is Kelly and Matthew. They're gonna represent Psy. I'm gonna turn on the timer now. They're gonna speak for just 1 minute. If you guys are ready.
Maybe we can see the slide first and then start the debate.
Do I go? Okay. Oh, I muted it. Sorry. How do I move this?
Gangnam Style. Op, 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 op. Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Op, 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 op. Oppan Gangnam Style.
And next slide. Yep.
Cool. Well, Matt and I kind of like discussed this, but for me at least, I think for the first time in like 2010, 2011, when this song came out, it was really the first time I personally, as non-Korean, had seen like this wave of like, oh my gosh, like Korea has this like amazing music culture, and having someone who studied in the States, like seeing this connection between like I guess the East and the West was really apparent, at least for me, at this time. And I'm sure Matt has like a different take on it because he's of Korean descent, but or knowing the Korean market at least at that time.
아빠, 오지 말라고, 아빠.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah, bye.
10 seconds.
Oh shoot. Sai, I'll talk more in the next.
4,
Sorry.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, it's time off.
That was Sai. Thank you, Matthew.
Was the time point when you played the intro?
No, it was when Kelly started
I'm
talking.
sorry. Talk too much.
We gotta talk.
Come on.
We're-
Okay, the next team is Wonder Girls.
Ah,
I want nobody, nobody but you. I want nobody, nobody but you. How can I be with another? I don't want any other. I want nobody, nobody, nobody.
hello.
Ariel and Claire are in Wonder Girls team. You can go if you're ready.
So yes, Claire and I is Wonder Girls team, and then so the Wonder Girls debuted in 2007, and then I think they're the very first group to enter the Billboard Hot 100. So they charted the number 76 with the song Nobody, which we just heard. And I think they're this, so based on our question, who really started the K-pop wave, I think they are the starting point of the K-pop wave. And then because they actually led all the K-pop artists to introduce K-pop artists to American and then the worldwide audience through entering to Billboard Hot 100. And also they toured
5,
with
4,
Jonas Brothers.
3, 2,
So yeah,
1.
Wonder Girls.
Oh, what?
Okay, I heard Jonas Brothers.
Oh my goodness.
A minute's actually really hard.
It is. You guys have 2 minutes next round, so.
Oh my, 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 oh my, my, my. Let me hate so fast. 내 전부답게 하고 싶어. Oh my, 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 oh my, my, my. Let me fly so fast. 이제 조금은 나 알겠어.
Yeah.
Next. Nope. Okay, that's good.
So who wants to go first?
Okay, I'll go first. So as of someone who spent their years in both America and Korea, I've been through, Psy, I've been through, Wonder Girls going kind of big in America, but BTS definitely feels very different. It definitely has more representation in America, and if you're considering the topic, I think BTS deserves the spot for what we were debating about. Jasmine?
I would say, although Wonder Girls and Psy definitely did have huge moments, like, and huge response to their music at like certain points, I feel like no one really had much of a wave like as BTS did. So I think that's why I'm saying that for this question that BTS did start the Korean wave, although there are definitely other artists who had a large impact before them.
Nice. You guys spoke for 58 seconds.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
So
Short
that
and
was the only
concise.
team who came in time, yeah. Okay, that was the first round. To be honest, I can't remember like if there was any significant points about any artist. You guys can prepare for the second round. We're gonna go with the same order. You have 2 minutes for each team. Is the side team ready?
come
Yeah.
on, Matt. Gotta bring home the gold, Matt.
Are we ready? When I start? Is it ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, Sai, like I told you about earlier, I didn't have a lot of influence on K-pop in America, but when I moved to Korea in 2010 and I came back to Korea 2012, right when Gangnam Style came out, I came to America for a month trip, and all of a sudden I saw everywhere they were playing Gangnam Style. People made parodies of Gangnam Style in American English, and it was really crazy because that was the first time I actually saw outwardly pride of Gangnam Style, being on the Ellen Show, being on the Tonight Show, and if I give some statistics, after Psy's Gangnam Style came out, it was certified 5 times platinum, and after Gangnam Style came out, the total views of K-pop videos, not just Psy, but because of Psy, the influence of Psy's Gangnam Style, the total views of Korean K-pop music videos went from 2 billion to 7 billion. That's not just Psy's videos, but because of Psy's influence, it made other videos, other K-pop stars be able to have a platform to be more approachable to the people. And so it was a really mass breakout of the views and the influence that it gave to America, but not just America, but internationally. Psy was one of the at that moment had the most views on YouTube and still has more views on music videos than BTS with about 3 point something billion. And so it's 4 times, about 3.7 times more views than BTS's most viewed music video, which is pretty insane. And Psy's
1
dance
second.
is very familiar to people. BTS, you can
5,
dance it.
4, 3, 2, 1.
What's going on with this research? What is going on? It's like...
That's
Good?
Oh, nice.
That was a lot.
This is too good for you.
Dang. He's here to win. He's here to win. Wow.
Wonder Girls team.
Sure. So it's really interesting of how Matthew would just talk about BTS and not talk about Wonder Girls at all, because it was really interesting, because what we really want to emphasize is that when we say a start of a K-pop wave means the start, which means going back to history, we are like the first one out of all of you guys. So it's not the BTS. It doesn't matter if like who brought the biggest wave. It matters of who first started it. So historically, it's Wonder Girls. And that's like the concise way of saying this. And later on, I'm pretty sure Ariel will like top down about like the statistical stuff and like how much like it's well known in the States. But I really wanted to say like present exists because there's the history. So I really believe that Wonder Girls is the first one who brought the K-pop wave to the States, and it was really hard for the Korean artists by then to have their thing coming to the States and like mark in such a chart, so a global chart. So I believe that that's like the significance, and that's the start. Since we had them, they were the ones to open the pathway for like the new generations and for these days artists. So I'm pretty sure that's what we could all say, like just make it concise and like all set, like that's it. Like,
How much time do we have?
You have 11 minutes, 11 seconds.
11 minutes. That's too
Yeah,
long.
That's it?
and the Wonder Girls is charted as
Three,
number
two,
top
one.
3 of the girl groups.
She's gonna talk about it more.
Continue.
Yeah, next round. BTS team, are you guys ready?
Jasmine, do you want to go first, or should I go first?
I can go first.
Okay.
So I'll start by saying it's great that you decided to approach this with Wonder Girls, saying that the thing about waves and the thing about all that's going on right now is that according to history, it has to be starting with who was first to do things. However, waves are also a continuous motion type thing.
Ooh.
Damn!
According to Wonder Girls and Psy, I don't know if it's as continuous as we would like to think on their popularity and the Korean wave thing. However, BTS has been on an upward sailing wave since they've debuted. And so for that reason alone, I think they're a better contendant for who started the Korean wave, because the 2 waves before him that we're talking about now ended very shortly.
Oh,
Yeah, and just in addition to that, there are multiple ways, and probably this one is the biggest one by so far. And talking about awards and charts, it's easy to say BTS has upper hands on both Psy and and Wonder Girls. Yeah, but like let's talk about it. But yeah, of course, Psy definitely had a very record breaking. I mean, it was broke by Despacito, I think. But yeah, that's a very significant achievement. But considering that it was 2013 and now it's 2020, if BTS only had one hit wonder and it was 7 years ago, maybe it might be similar achievements. But considering that they're continually successful, so I think that makes BTS the most the first, the pioneers of the new K-pop wave.
And I think
Wow.
Psy is still
5 seconds.
Oh,
4,
Psy is still popular
3,
for touring.
2,
There we go.
1.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow, this was a whole better round than the first one.
It was just
Wow.
an introduction,
Thank you,
first
Min.
round. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
remember
it was
Psy's.
that came in so aggressive.
Then with your stats
Great.
like percentages, I'm just like, ooh.
we still have more. Don't even.
And the BTS team's definition of wave. Let's start our third round. We're gonna go for 2 minutes each as well. Whenever you're ready.
All right. So I think that Psy walked so that BTS could run. I think personally, like Gangnam Style really set forth a cultural shock. Like for the first time, I think the true like Eastern hemisphere, like world mixed in with the Western. If you look at the way Gangnam Style changed, it really marketed off of these like trends going on. So I have like notes. So dance trends like the Dougie, the Wobble, the Harlem Shake, these things, they really like Gangnam Style had this horse dance that really like set forth like everybody dancing, set off cultural and also statistical, like it just went off the charts. K-pop in terms of like this new Korean wave, it always is seeing like, I think Matt and I's point is like the cultural shock of like the true like Eastern world introducing in the Western world, like all of these dance trends, the cultural like Gangnam Style, like this area, this trend in Korea. It really changed like the industry. I think that the way the song, at least like his creation of the song, went off of the trends at that time of the 2010s of like, I would say like party rock, like by LMFAO, like these sounds and beats, and then Carly Rae Jepsen with Call Me Maybe, these trendy like one hit like liners. I think he really marketed off of this like like what was trendy at the international time. And I know that's like BTS and Wonder Girls like really were just their own creation, but I think like at least in size, like in that sense, he really created it. Like he created this movement based on what was already trending. And I think that was like, I think like he didn't even try to make it trendy, but like he did. And I think that was his own way. So yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Wonder Girls team.
So I think we should all know our question is, who really started the K-pop wave? Not who supported to leading it to the peak of the K-pop wave. Okay. Some statistical stuff. Psy released Gangnam Style in 2012, and then we all know K-pop wave was already like going on even before that. So Big Bang, Wonder Girls, and these idols were already like widely like known to all the audience. So Gangnam Style definitely helped K-pop wave to get to the leading to the peak, but it was just a little bit of support. And then also BTS, they were able to get into Billboard Hot 100 in 2017 with DNA, but I know they're the most known idol group nowadays, but they are definitely not the one who started the K-pop wave. And also so if Wonder Girls and other like older generation of the K-pop idols were not here, and who did not enter the US and other country, I think these Gangnam Style and BTS wouldn't be able to have spotlight to their song. And also you all should know that they I wanted to say this, Billboard ranked Wonder Girls the top 3 K-pop girl groups of the past decade in 2017. So I think Wonder Girls go.
I didn't know that. Didn't know that.
Okay. Is BTS team ready?
Okay, so as Kelly said, Psy walked so for the BTS could run, but you know, life is a race. You should run, not walk. And you know, just talking about waves, you know, we could say, you know, if a big wave is coming, few water droplets before, it doesn't count as the first wave. The biggest, the top pinnacle of a wave should be considered as the first one. So I'm just talking about, you know, just worth and charts. You know, I'm not even gonna talk about BTS charts, but they have won around like 200 awards around the world, past 3 or 4 years alone. And talking about Psy's net worth was like around 60 million with that success, but BTS is around 2 billion, according to Business Insider. So it's not some, you know, it's very, yeah, okay. And you know, just talking about, yeah, I understand that they had a very significant influence to this whole K-pop wave, but let's talk about the real K-pop wave that we talk about these days. So I think that's the K-pop wave we should really focus on. And talking about the first one, BTS was definitely the one to actually, you know, break the roof, not touch the roof, but they were actually the ones to break the roof and actually have, you know, actually start the Korean wave. And you know, talking about the, you know, roles of pioneers, after BTS started, gaining fame in the United States and around the world, NCT 127, NCT like Monster X, and these other groups start to gain fame around the world also. So I think they're definitely suitable to be called a pioneer and the first of the K-pop wave. So considering their net worth, their success in touring and considering their representation in America and entertainment, they definitely should be considered as the first ones. Done.
Oh.
Yep.
You guys are good listeners. Like, you remember what the other team's saying.
I took notes, okay?
I have notes too.
I thought you guys said you guys won't be that passionate. What's going on?
That definitely was said.
It
But
was just going to be a
I don't
fun
remember that. I
debate.
don't remember saying that.
Ooh, you're not ready.
everyone got so competitive.
But
Yeah.
at least I didn't do research on like stats, so
I know the whole.
yeah. I just did it right now, so I was like,
Yeah, but you were talking about stats like 2
Yeah.
billion.
yeah, I just did it like 2 minutes ago. Yep. So
Okay. The next round is our final round. We're gonna have 3 minutes for each team, so you're gonna have to say once more.
Wait, first,
Um,
Ellie, do you have anything else to say first? Or
Me?
yeah.
I just have like some points to make. I mean, it's really not like,
Okay, well, I'll go first then. I'll go first.
you go first, yeah.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah, we're taking home the gold today.
Are you ready? I'll start now. Okay, so I know that BTS is extra crazy. Like, they're so popular right now, but like all those stats doesn't define what wave means. So I think BTS is already out of the picture on this debate. So let me give you the definition of start. Start means a sudden movement of surprise or alarm. Wait. Wave means a sudden occurrence or increase in a specific phenomenon. So Psy suddenly, in a surprise, increased the specific phenomenon of K-pop. That means that a sudden occurrence or increase in a specific phenomenon means that Wonder Girls, yeah, they did already start it. It was already there. It was hovering. But what a wave means, a wave is a sudden increase. So when Psy came out, Psy didn't even market to become worldwide. BTS always does now. BTS markets to be worldwide. Psy didn't even think of that. All of a sudden, in an increase, Psy became a worldwide phenomenon. So if you think about the definition of start and wave, Psy did suddenly, in a movement of surprise, made the wave increase in this K-pop phenomenon, right? So with that being said, already Psy is already there. And now let's talk about more of why, right? So we know the definition. So we know that BTS is already all the way there. Psy was like a father figure to BTS. And if you think about it, BTS was only big internationally for 3 years now. Psy too, if you think about it, Psy had almost the same amount of time that they were big. And it's always bound to happen because of the industry moving so quickly, especially with Korean industry trying to let themselves out in the public. There's gonna be increments of time where the top artist changes. So like Psy
1
dominated
minute left.
internationally in like 2012 to 2015, 16, and then there was a gap with others, and then BTS came up. So now let's talk about other. I'm just gonna. Psy influenced a lot of number one views on a lot of TV shows like Ellen Show and The Tonight Show and broke a lot of records. Doesn't matter.
30
the whole
seconds.
point is that it started the wave. Okay, Kelly, finalize.
People have said that because of Gangnam Style, it has been the success of South Korea's built up for 20 years industry. And he was the one to unlock the key to a global phenomenon so that
10 seconds.
Wonder Girls and other groups can be big. And I would like to say that K-pop, as defined as an international thing, is adapting to the cultural tastes of for an audience around the world. So that's what I did.
Close your dictionaries, okay?
Also,
God.
We're in this together.
KCON started because of Psy.
Started because of CJ, okay?
No,
They
because
hosted it.
DJ.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, Wonder Girls team ready?
Yeah.
Ready, Claire?
You're ready. Start?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just want to knock down all of the other teams before we move on to finalize what we want to say by wrapping up this final round. So first of all, for the BTS team, you guys said waves need to continue, but we also don't know how long the BTS wave is going to last. Because first of all, right now, Jin is waiting for his military service date, and soon on, all the other BTS members will go to serve for the military too. Also, you guys seem to like focus more on the BTS wave, the new K-pop wave, but not like the traditional, the start of the K-pop wave. So that's different. And also for the Psy team, you guys started off by saying stuff like it's true that Psy's song like was internationally trendy and all that, but Gangnam Style was the one and only. That was it. Like it was trendy, but it should last long, but it didn't, right? So that's definitely not a good case to say. And also for the wrap up, you guys also mentioned the definition of start and the wave, and you guys said like Psy increased the sudden worldwide phenomenon, but as you said, it was unexpected. Like if someone really wanted to create a wave, then it should have been something expected, and it should have been like what all people have been saying until nowadays. But even right now, like people just talk about like K-pop boy group or girl group bands, not like Psy. So we can't say that he started the wave. And also, Kelly ended up saying Wonder Girls were able to get into the Billboard because of Psy, but that's not true because Psy was like a later on movement compared to the Wonder Girls, because Wonder Girls went in 2010 and Psy went in at 2012, so it's different. And now Ariel's gonna wrap up the whole thing.
So, Psy, how the increase cannot happen without interest, the base. So the Wonder Girls, they created the whole base and the interest for audience to really, oh, what is this K-pop? What is the K-pop? So this question starts the K-pop wave. So the Psy, okay, we know that the Gangnam Style was a big point of to let all the international audience to really know the K-pop genre, but it couldn't happen without the base, the interest that Wonder Girls created. And also, so although Wonder Girls couldn't really have a popularity compared to BTS and Psy, but a lot of article and book mentioned that when how K-pop started, when they mentioned about the starting point of the K-pop wave, Wonder Girls always comes in the first, and then the Psy comes in, and then BTS. So think about the starting point. What is the starting point? And wait, how much time we have?
The time's over.
Play by the rules,
Sorry.
please.
I forgot my rule.
We've been on the clock. Our team has been on the clock, okay? 2 minutes. Two
sorry,
minutes,
Ariel.
okay? So shall we start?
Yeah, sure.
So Okay, so guys, let's be rational and open-minded. Okay,
Not-
okay, just think about it.
Open-minded.
If we're talking about the first artist, it's not Wonder Girls. It's not, it's Gangnam Style. It's 1988 Koreanos by 손에 손잡고. That was the first song to actually go into the Billboard chart. So if we are actually talking about the first one to get onto the chart, it's not both Psy or it's not, it's not Wonder Girls. And just talking about the waves, I think we need to know, and we're trying to decide the first artist, not first song. Psy only had a success with Gangnam Style. Wonder Girls only had a success with Nobody. Yes, okay, Hangover, but like nobody cared about Hangover, so okay. But in United States, in the world, worldwide, BTS, DNA, the new song On, just every song they've been pulling out that has been charted, from the Billboard chart from 1 to 10, the top 10 for several weeks. So if we're talking about an artist, I think we should really talk about BTS, not because we're not talking about songs. And you guys talk about it was like we're talking about first, and it was like Psy did this, Wonder Girls did this, but for a wave to start, you need something. So maybe you guys threw a pond in the wall, you just threw a stone in the pond, but waves were actually a product of BTS. We call it Korean wave. We don't call it Korean throw a rock into the water. Okay, so talking about
30
waves,
seconds.
I think it should be BTS. Jasmine.
She's throwing
I
hands.
also, in response to the wave definition, shall read you the definition of a ripple.
Yeah.
A ripple, a small wave, or series of waves on the surface of the water, or a series of small waves on the surface. However, I think the current biggest Korean wave that we can actually associate with this discussion versus ripples should belong to BTS.
Yeah, it's Korean wave, not Korean throw a rock into the pond. Okay, BTS. Done.
That is our TED Talk.
Okay.
Guys, I don't feel good, guys. My heart hurts, guys.
It's too late. We
It
heard
was
it.
all out of love, okay?
You said it. We heard it. It's done.
All out of love.
Stick with the argument.
At least Jasmine's gonna support me, so I guess.
Do you want to decide, or
I think
do
you
you
should.
guys want to be peace?
I mean,
peaceful?
Youngmin, we trust your, yeah.
And it won't be biased.
Yeah,
Well, some
Yeah.
of us, but like not to our extent of debating.
BTS didn't even start anything, so it's either Wonder Girls.
Oh,
Wow.
I mean, BTS is a later generation. It didn't start it.
You guys
look, we are
not-
getting
you guys
attacked. Why?
started-
Because we were
He
the
also
first
ended
one.
at the same time he started, so I feel
No,
like
we're at the top.
like
That's why
Yeah,
we're getting
we're
attacked
so
right
heated,
now.
guys. Like we should just calm ourselves down.
Let's
Yeah, chill out.
I
like-
lost all of my friends.
Yeah,
today.
chill.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Your
You
final
decide.
answer.
Yeah, we'll
We
provide
were
some jump
actually
dates.
planning to ask audience about their opinions, but like, is there anyone? If you're still with us, please comment.
There's gonna be
Yeah.
latency, so we have to wait like 20 seconds. So at least, yeah.
Oh,
Ooh. But yeah, it was fun, guys.
it was fun.
It was out of love, okay?
Matthew? Who just said that? Matthew? Yo, you gotta be fair, guys. Like, make some fair
yo,
moves.
we have comment. Wonder Girls. Wonder Girls.
Ariel?
Ooh.
She just,
Comment.
I'm looking at it.
that's the lowest you can go, okay?
Like,
Does bribery work, Youngmin? I can Venmo some,
I think
okay?
Venmo.
You have
Here's a Korea.
it's obvious.
who wants to get bribed? Who wants to get bribed?
one vote for BTS from a non-board member, non-club member.
I mean, he commented even before we start the debate. That's
Yeah,
unfair.
which means we, Jasmine and I,
No,
actually did a good
it's
job.
just it
No.
just came out of popularity of BTS.
Commented
I mean,
after the first
yeah, I
slide.
mean,
Yeah, it's just gonna be
Maybe
the popularity. vote.
Justin should decide for us.
you know,
Okay.
This was a
you know,
great
just talking about guitars, Jimi Hendrix was the pioneer, the first one, and he is still the most famous one. Same reason, BTS was the first and still most famous.
Okay, okay.
You,
Okay.
What about Wonder Girls, Big Bang, and all the other groups? You're just
Could you guys please
We're
stop
even
debating?
I feel like they shouldn't actually be a contender.
Okay,
Oh,
host
we-
just said it. She just told
well,
us
we
to
did get a
do
vote,
it.
so
I
so
think
Youngmin, tell us. We're ready to hear. Tell us.
Yeah, we have the
Okay.
drum beat ready.
Is the drum beat ready? Can you guys do the
Yes.
drum beat?
I don't know.
The winner, the winner is Sai.
Wow!
Do you guys want to hear the reason?
Talking to you guys. Okay, bye.
Uh,
I'm logging out now.
I'm out. I'm out.
Right.
Okay, first of all, the BTS team, you guys, you had some good reasons, but I thought you were too aggressive and offensive.
We were so calm. We were so rational.
hey, she's the judge. She's the moderator. She's the moderator.
And then Wonder Girl team, I like you, but it was shocking to see the comments that Ariel left.
Wait, Matthew put a comment too. So,
Matthew
that's
did?
yeah, he wrote
Unfair.
sigh.
Wow, does that mean
Oh,
being the only team who did
Disqualified. Just kidding. Just kidding.
No, we
Okay,
all
let-
should. We all should. Yeah.
Yeah, let's
agree
just
to
call it sigh and end this. Okay.
Yeah.
Congrats.
yeah, let's end this. Yeah.
It's good to know that K-pop
Thank you guys for the debate.
K-pop is big, and I know like we talked about like BTS, like them going to the army and stuff, but we hope that BTS continues to be big so that K-pop can continue to grow. But for this debate's sake, BTS wasn't the winner, but you know, at the moment BTS is definitely the all the way up there. So
You can unhurt somebody, Matthew. We're hurt.
the debate
Claire, you too. We're hurt.
was
Why are you guys hurt? I was trying to be very logical, guys.
BTS forever, guys.
Logical.
Yo,
Oh.
I was hurt when you guys literally shut us down by saying Wonder Girls and just yo, I was, oh my god, I'm heartbroken now.
I mean, you
Okay,
know,
let's
it's,
wrap
you know,
up.
Yeah.
Wrap up this debate. It was too much. We don't want to offend any K-pop artists or K-pop fans. We want to see them grow, and we love all K-pop artists. Just wanted to say that. We're a K-pop club, and we're also planning on our new exciting events in the summer. These are all part of the series Everything K. So if you like K-pop, if you wanted to listen to any K-pop news, stay tuned to our YouTube channel and all our webinars. This is it for our second event. Does anyone want to say anything?
We have exciting guests coming up in June, so stay tuned. And then our next webinar. So you can also check our information about this webinar and our club at our official website, kpopinitiative.com. And also follow us on social media, Instagram and Facebook, K-pop Initiative. And please subscribe and like this video if you liked.
So one thing, if you guys watch the first stream, one of our upcoming guests is in the comments in the first video. So check that out if you want to have a clue.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Ooh.
It'll be a surprise, but they are wonderful people. They
gave them a hint.
You already said it.
I actually wanted to say one last thing. I just wanted to thank these amazing board members. I just love, and it just goes to show like we all have our like passions and our like I guess our own personalities and tastes make this club what it is. And we were really excited to just collaborate with these new guests and also our members in the fall. We hope that we'll get to know you guys better, and we hope that through this session you got to know a little bit about our personalities. So we thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for those of you who watched this YouTube live video. This is it for our second webinar. So bye everyone.
Bye.